Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. This is Pradeep and you're watching Blog of Note. One of the biggest bits of processor news of 2020, indeed of the next decade, is the fact that Apple is going to be shifting away from Intel to Apple's own custom silicon based on ARM. However, in all of this noise around Apple, it's easy to ignore the fact that Microsoft did this shift last year with the Microsoft SQ1 processor, and this year they're now giving us the Microsoft SQ2. So here's everything you need to know. Let's get started. First of all, this entire discussion began way back when in 2018 December when Qualcomm announced the 8cx compute platform. This ARM-based platform had the following three advantages. One, it was more power efficient. Two, it was supposed to be as powerful as Intel counterparts. And three, it was supposed to be always connected, with Qualcomm talking about 5G even way back when. Microsoft the next year gave us the Microsoft SQ1 found in the original Surface Pro X, which was supposed to be based off the Qualcomm 8cx processor. Now, we have the performance of the Microsoft SQ1 on Geekbench, and it has a single core score of about 750 and a multi-core score of about 2900. When you compare that to the Intel Core i5 8th generation U series of processor, it has a single core score of about 790 and a multi-core score of about 2100, quite comparable. Now, moving forward 1 year, Qualcomm in September of 2020 announced the Qualcomm 8cx Gen 2 processor with 5G. It is supposed to be 7nm and 64-bit and is supposed to be, according to Qualcomm, 50% faster and more power efficient than competing rivals. I think they mean the Intel Core i5 10th generation U series of processors. Now, none of this would have excited us if it wasn't for the fact that the Microsoft Surface Pro X had one critical flaw, and Microsoft has just fixed it. You see, the Microsoft Surface Pro X had this flaw where it could not run x64 64-bit apps on ARM. Therefore, the entire Adobe suite was completely ruled out and it became unusable for a lot of people. Microsoft just a few days back announced the fact that they are going to be enabling full x64 emulation for Windows on ARM, meaning you can run Adobe apps finally on your Surface Pro X that just recently got announced with the Microsoft SQ2. Now, coming to actual performance, we don't know too much as of now. Microsoft says we're going to get about 15 hours of battery life. That's probably because of 7nm versus Intel's 14nm. But when you come to the Geekbench performance of the Intel Core i5 10th generation processor U series, you can see that it has a single core score of about 990 and a multi-core score of about 3000. Meaning that the Microsoft SQ2 will probably have a single core score of about 950 and a multi-core score of about 3500. Oh, and one other interesting fact, you know the Apple A14 processor, their 5nm processor found on the iPad Air? Well, it just went onto Geekbench and it has a single core score of about 1500 and a multi-core score of about 4200. Mind you, this is just the Apple A14. We're not even talking about the A14X or the M14, which could be found on the iPad Pro or the MacBook Pro. However, if you're living in Windows land, the Microsoft SQ2 looks to be a rather interesting processor. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comment section down below. As always, please go over to YouTube and subscribe to the Blog of Note channel. Ring that notification bell so that you never miss a video, and we will see you guys in the next episode.